Today we are back in the studio, in a different studio that is my bedroom.
It's hot in here.
As usual, we have me, your host, and Jared. And this episode we have a guest, Jake. You've seen him in our last season. He talked a bit about video games. So now we're back to talk a little bit about video games.
Yeah, because that's all what anybody knows me for nowadays.
Video games.
I mean, it's a good hobby. It's
Video
fun.
games.
So I'm going to start off by saying that VR is... I don't know if I want to say, I don't know. It's a revolution in entertainment for sure. But I don't know. I wrote down in the show notes that it's a slow revolution in entertainment. But really, see, it's been around for a while technically. But it's only taken off in the last, 5 years or so.
I believe it's been around since, 2014. 2016.
Yeah. No, I think 2012 was when, the first Oculus model came out.
Well, that's when it started taking off.
At the fucking Comic-Con thing? The one was, duct tape and wires and shit? It was this is going to be the future of gaming, and then we had to wait, 8 fucking years.
Well, what I mean is that's when it started taking off.
Yeah.
And then since then, it's just been getting bigger. But, people have been trying VR.
Oh, yeah, no,
trying to make it for
Boy
decades.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck, even those, Game & Watch machines, the ones where you bring them up to your face and play it?
Yeah, so if you count that, it's a slow revolution in entertainment. Definitely a revolution. But if you're counting just the modern, iteration of it, it's pretty fast moving, I think.
Hell yeah.
For all you wondering out there, the Oculus Rift DK1 or the development kit version 1 came out in March 29th, 2013. So it's been around since 2013. But if you want to really go back, I guess we can count the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's literally the first VR thing.
Consumer VR.
Yeah.
I'll link a video in the description.
I mean, it was terrible. But...
It breaks down the history of VR and when it really started, in I think the 80s, in arcades.
Hell yeah.
Thrill Seeker.
I think so, but yeah, VR back then was about as comfortable as you'd imagine it being.
You just get into
not
a
very
giant
comfortable
cage. They just shoot lasers into your eyes because it's the 80s.
I mean, yeah, I'd have to agree on VR moving really, really fast. I mean, I've noticed just during this whole quarantine period, VR headsets are sold out everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, how else are you gonna pretend to go to the store?
Well,
it's hard
people
to
are trying
Skyrim.
People are trying to be more social. In
VR chat.
Yeah, VR chat, Rec Room.
Although I think that's Horny Land now.
I don't know, but yeah, it's just been constantly growing. I mean, you try to get an Oculus Rift S or a Quest or any kind of Vive, especially the Index, the Valve Index. They've been back ordered for so long. A lot of them out of stock. I mean, I've been waiting. I'm on my 8th week now of waiting for my Valve Index. People have been waiting 14 weeks, 3 months just to get theirs for an $1,000 VR headset.
Yeah.
Another thing that really helped kind of push it into the mainstream was the release of Half-Life Alyx.
Oh yeah.
Because people have been waiting for, I think,
you're a game now.
since I think 2012, 2013. People have been waiting for a Half-Life game, and I know that a lot of people were really disappointed that it was a VR exclusive. But I think I heard from Valve is the mainline Half-Life games, the main story games, are all gonna be flat screen, so everybody can play them. And I think they're currently in the development of making, I think Left 4 Dead VR.
Ooh,
that would be interesting.
Now that'll be something.
Now I hope they also make normal Left 4 Dead, because as I talked, I think the last episode or the one previous that zombie games and stuff are just kind of
that was last episode.
Yeah, they just kind of all of them are story driven now because The Walking Dead was, and it's just no longer fun, Fucking Left 4 Dead was the last game where it was just fun zombie killing and stuff. Just have a drink with the boys.
Yeah. I've only played a little bit of Left 4 Dead, but from what I've played, it feels
fun. It's great.
Yeah, it's just zombie fun.
It's very similar to Call of Duty Zombies, but double the craziness.
I mean, the best character is Coach, a fat,
Coach is
black,
best.
diabetic old man.
Coach
who's
is
the coach
best.
of a local football team.
I think when we really jumped the shark with zombies was when we came up with Nazi zombies.
No, fucking, I forget what it's called, but it's in the Nazi zombie video game stuff. It's I think Call of Duty 3 had it, but
No, World at War had Nazi zombies.
no, not
first.
the one I'm talking about. When they got like really crazy with the story, like they go into different dimensions and shit. And there's one, I love this. I think it's the third episode, if you will. They go to an alternate timeline in Nazi Germany where like the Russians made giant robot mechs and shit, and the Nazis summoned dragons to fight them. So they're just in Berlin that's now like ruined it on fire. There's like a crazy Russian guy shooting them in a fucking giant mech, and there's just dragons everywhere. It's like, this is a zombie game.
Yeah, that's just Black Ops.
What
2.
happened?
That's just Black Ops 2 Origins for you.
That's what it is? Okay, I was trying
Black
to remember
Ops
that.
2 Origins,
Fuck,
yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you're in the bunker trying to run through, trying to grab all the parts for like this, for like
Yeah.
the stabs, the different stabs that you can have.
Fuck yeah.
Black Ops 2 is the best. That was my first Call of Duty game.
The commercials for that one, though, are just so ridiculous because they just... Like, Ace of Spades comes on, there's like 4 guys falling from the sky, and then there's just bullets and everything.
Yeah, I played Black Ops 2 on the
Oh.
Wii U, so that's about how much expertise I have on the franchise.
I mean, you still played a competent version of Black Ops 2.
Yeah. So anyway, back to VR.
Yes.
You know, we mentioned the
Let's
Virtual
have that
Boy.
in VR.
We mentioned the Virtual Boy a little bit earlier. I think it's time Nintendo revives the Virtual Boy.
I mean, maybe as like an attachment for the Switch, yeah.
Virtual Boy
that's what I
classic.
was thinking.
Oh my God.
See, because like the Virtual Boy is like something of like a meme now, where like you've either never heard of it or you think it's the most hilarious thing ever. So
Yeah.
they could like ride that a bit with marketing, like Nintendo Labo, the VR thing that they had for that.
Right.
That was like that. It was something.
They could totally just dump all of the ROMs onto just one like piece of software that you can get on your Switch, and if you have that Labo VR kit, you can just play it on that. Like that'll be the easiest way.
Yeah.
Add it in as like another like Switch Online thing, like how they have for the NES and SNES.
As long as it doesn't come in like laminated cardboard, I'll be fine with it.
See, my problem with PlayStation VR was that, you know, it's good. It's a good headset.
Yeah.
The controllers are all right. Like finally a use for the PlayStation
But
Move
you get
controllers,
3
right?
games, and all 3 of them are just ports of existing games.
Well, there's like Iron Man coming out soon, and like I
Well,
mentioned
yeah,
last
but-
episode, I would consider, I wouldn't do it, but I would consider buying a PlayStation VR for Iron Man. But like, think of the exclusives that Nintendo could have.
Oh God, there's so
Like
many things.
like a Metroid Prime VR.
Oh, that'd
That would be
fucking
amazing.
awesome.
That would
Up
be,
until
like,
you do a
so
somersault, then you'd probably scream.
You know, you actually have to do a summer
You have to-
small.
You have to literally turn yourself into a fucking orb.
See, Sony, like, it's good, but like you don't get like Steam VR stuff. So like
Yeah.
it's just kind of its own thing. But Nintendo could really get away with that because think of like a VR Zelda game. See, I'm
Oh, yeah.
envisioning like the Switch 2 having like a 1440p screen,
And then on the
high
back
refresh
of it,
rate,
there's these 2 eye holes. You just-
and then like the Labo thing, you could get an accessory that you just dock your Switch 2 into,
yeah,
and then it becomes a really competent VR headset.
fuck
Right.
yeah.
But what would you use for the controllers?
I mean,
Joy-Cons.
No, those don't work. Those are only 3 degrees.
Joy-Con 2.
yeah, whatever
let
they
me
come up.
Google it.
No, because he's talking about a new
Right,
Switch for
right,
this
in the
VR
future.
stuff. Like, they
I'm
could-
thinking like 5 or so years down the line, like next generation Switch 2 with like revamped Joy-Cons.
yeah, with full 360 degree everything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean HD Rumble would be great for VR, like feeling what you're.
We
what
already
you're
have
holding.
that.
Yeah, I'm saying like carrying that over.
Right, yeah, but I'm talking about we already have HD Rumble for VR. The Vive ones and the Knuckles
But
controllers.
they didn't market it like Nintendo did.
Yeah. Like
Because
Nintendo.
I can't feel the ice in my
I could
controller.
feel the ice cubes.
The
Now I can see them.
Now you're playing with ice power.
What if they brought back the Power Glove as controllers?
and they actually worked.
See if they went full retro next generation.
VR like controller except the Power Glove
And it has like individual finger tracking.
Now
and stuff?
there are companies right now that are figuring out like VR like gloves.
Right.
It's not for like gaming like applications yet, but think of if Nintendo got in on that, made the Power Glove with like full motion sensing,
Surgeon
and you could
simulator.
use that Surgeon Simulator with
That's
your
very good use for it.
Nintendo new
hands.
Virtual Boy with your Switch 2 docked into it. I envision a bright future for Nintendo VR if they just did things right.
Now, what I'm excited for though is the idea of like gloves that map to your fingers, so you can actually use your fingers in the game. You can literally rip a heart out in Surgeon Simulator. Imagine doing it with your actual hand. You just grab it and just yank.
Temple of Doom style.
Fuck yeah.
Well, they kind of have that with the Valve Index controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's full individual finger tracking, like pressure.
Yeah,
sensors.
but it's still just a control. I'm talking about like actual, like your hand and stuff.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about, like an actual glove.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like you're holding something.
Yeah.
Well,
like, you know, I literally just played VR like a minute before we did this, but
yeah, it was Jared's first time.
I'm no longer a VR virgin, but a problem I have with it though is like you can feel the controller still. So like when you're in the spots where you see your hands, it's like, oh, those aren't hands.
That's kind of where the Valve Index comes in, because you don't need to hold on the controllers to open your hand or anything.
Yeah, they're strap-ons.
Strap-ons. When you say it like that.
I actually have
Time to cancel my order.
I have an order of Mammoth grips coming for my Oculus controllers.
You have an order of what?
They're called the Mammoth grips. They're very similar to.
Oh,
yeah,
like
it's the brand.
Yeah.
Okay, I was concerned by that for a second.
So yeah, they're just straps for the controllers, so it's like a similar thing.
Okay.
I ordered them like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Still waiting on them.
Yeah, a lot of orders are gonna be slow.
They're coming from like Sweden.
I ordered something that's like next to us, like it's in Tennessee. Those fucking Warhammer miniatures.
Yeah, next to us in Tennessee.
Okay, I don't know the U.S. map. All right, I fudged that. Okay.
Next to us in Tennessee. Let's see here. To the left of us, we have Wisconsin.
Okay,
Wisconsin. To the right of us, we have Canada.
I guess if you have a
New York.
portal
below
gun.
us? What's below us?
Below us is Ohio, which
And
needs to be
Indiana.
eliminated.
And underneath them?
Kentucky. I
Okay,
believe.
where is Tennessee?
I think that's below Kentucky.
Okay, see, that's not that far away.
Watch us also not know what the states are.
I don't know what the states are.
Okay, ask me any history about like something that wasn't American. I can probably explain.
You know more about Ned Kelly than you know about your own country, like what's around you.
Okay, to be fair though, like we're bored. This country's boring. Like the only exciting stuff is like just started to happen. Everything else is
exciting
boring.
stuff?
Yeah.
What do you mean that there's an exciting stuff? We're in a goddamn pandemic. We have an idiot running the country. Sorry, not trying to be too political, but you know,
no.
Not trying to be
we've
too
said-
political, but maybe we shouldn't have a reality star as president.
maybe we shouldn't.
okay, that's
maybe
a
we
good-
shouldn't have a
good, thing,
businessman,
though,
not a
like-
fucking politician,
No.
as president.
What I've been saying though is like fucking I feel like if you're gonna be running for president, you need to at least have a fucking like master's degree in law. You know?
Yeah, but I guess that makes it less accessible. Like you know, you want
Because
people
we want
you
more
want people
random
to
chuckle fucks.
you
in.
want people to feel like they could be president, because if they don't, then they're like, well, I don't wanna.
Yeah, but like, just tell them get this requirement, and then you can be king of the United States.
You should at least have to sit through like a weekend seminar.
I mean, we're not training cops here.
Let's start. Let's start from there. Let's start at the very bottom. We have weekend seminar. At the top, we have masters in law.
You know-
Then we can work.
Can we just get a hobo? in as
we can work
president?
between those to figure out the
No,
requirement.
hear me out. Let's just as a country decide to vote a hobo in. Okay, just pick a random homeless guy, vote him into office, and see how his life changes.
I think we should just have everyone take turns being president.
You know, let's make a computer that just simulates everyone.
That's a good idea.
That's probably what we're in right now.
Hell 9000. It's just 2001: Space Odyssey.
No,
all
I
over
want
again.
Ed 209 as president. You have 3 seconds to comply. We'll
so,
get shit done at office.
So I wanted to kind of get back on the track of
video
VR and stuff. So one thing that I kind of wanted to mention is the VR divide And I'm not sure if you guys know what that means.
The VR divide?
Yeah, so there's a
civil war going on?
Well, not really, but there's like a slight divide in the VR community. So you have people who are on Oculus, and then you have people who are like on HTC.
Oh, so it's a race thing.
And then you also have people that are on PlayStation. So PlayStation, they have a whole bunch of exclusives that the PC players that use Oculus and in Steam VR, they can't play those. So like the new Iron Man game coming out, Astrobot, whatever the hell it's called. I'm sure there's a couple others, but there's a good amount of games that you can't get on PC and you can only get on PlayStation VR.
Yeah, here's the thing though, like how many of those games though are just shitty ports to VR of like games that already exist?
No, they're all original games.
Doom VR?
Though that you can play that on any
Skyrim
platform.
VR?
You can play that on any platform.
You shouldn't. They're kind of terrible.
Doom VR though,
that one might be kind of good.
I've seen reviews for it. It looks great. I'm really considering buying it. I just don't know if it's my thing.
Yeah,
right?
But like, why would you get Doom VR where you have access to Gorn VR, the game that literally lets you rip people's arms off and beat them to death with
because
it?
you don't get a BFG in Gorn.
You might. I'm pretty sure they added an Easter egg in.
Once they add workshop support, then it's all over.
In Doom, do you get to use crab claws attached to your arm to cut people into pieces?
You know, I think you have a fair point.
Okay, this is like, do you get a warhammer? You just turn people into jelly. Like a mashed potato meat tenderizer, but big. And kind of floppy unless you use two hands. Gorn has weird physics with their weapons.
Back on track again.
No, we're still on track.
Kind of.
VR.
Anyways, so another thing is with Oculus. So there's a lot of good games on Oculus. Lone Echo, the Star Wars VR games.
What is it? Vader?
Yeah, Vader Immortal.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Stormland. It's like an open world. It's made by Insomniac, the same people who made like the original Spiral trilogy, Spider-Man 4.
I love Insomniac. They make pretty good games.
Oh my god, I almost said Jet Grind Radio. It's close enough though. Sunset Overdrive.
Oh yeah.
But the issue is it's all locked to the Oculus platform.
Yeah.
So people like me who are gonna get a Valve Index or have HTC Vives or Pimaxes or anything else, they can't play on that unless they use software called Revive, which is it works for some games but not all games.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's the thing with all like different I guess consoles, because technically VR is like a different console.
Kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like there'll always be like competition and stuff, and there needs to be that if you're gonna have multiple things. So like, of course, some of them are gonna buy into contracts with other things for exclusivity deals. I mean, look at Steam and Epic right now. Epic's getting exclusivity deals because they're technically a rival platform.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, there'll always be a competition like that.
But yeah, I mean, no, I understand that. But
when Epic gets VR support, it's gonna be a
damn.
game changer. Think of their weekly free games, but like
With VR, that would be awesome. Actually, you get to keep those games for free too.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you keep them forever.
Yeah, you keep them indefinitely.
Yeah, you see, that's
when
a
are we
really
gonna get
fucking
GTA
awesome
5 VR?
That exists. There's a mod for it.
Nice.
I mean, you already can get first-person view in GTA 5.
Yeah, so that's what the mod is basically. It's just
yeah.
first-person view in VR.
Sounds like it would be just
Oh, the
vomit
12-year-olds.
simulator.
No, you can only play single player because you can't have mods and stuff in multiplayer.
All the 12-year-olds will go to the strip club first.
Oh boy, what was I gonna say now? Yeah, so that's what I was kind of talking about with the VR divide. Is I understand that certain publishers need to have like their own, or certain developers don't get enough money, so that's why they go to like Oculus or Sony to get enough money to fund it. But then there's an exclusivity deal with the new market, with the new platform that's so early in development. I don't think there should be already this kind of
Oh.
war between, you know, Xbox versus PlayStation and all that.
There's
crap.
always gonna be that kind of idea was like started back in like Sega Genesis versus Nintendo days.
I mean, on the developer
like-
side, you don't want a monopoly because, like, if Steam was the only name in VR, if it was the only name in gaming, you as a developer don't have a choice other than to go to Steam, and they can take whatever amount they want from your sales.
Well, to be honest, that'd be the best option because Steam is just better than both those platforms, to be honest.
Well, it's
Unless
better
you're a
on the
company.
consumer side.
Yeah, on the consumer side. But as a company, you'd go with Epic because they give you more in revenue and stuff for your own
Right.
projects.
Yeah, if Steam was the only option to go to publish your game, other than, like, you know, randomindiegame.com,
Yeah,
you know,
or
like,
Newgrounds probably.
they
but that's
can
all free.
they can say we're taking 90% of your proceeds. All of your sales go to us, and you get table scraps.
Right.
They can make up the deal if they want. You need competition to ensure that there's like, I guess, thrivability for the companies.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
it'd be like how EA killed like all of the good fucking companies that were there for a while. You know, Respawn, BioWare.
Respawn's still around.
Yeah, but they're
They're
still around
making-
in the idea of like,
No, they're making a game right now. They're making a Medal of Honor VR game.
yeah, but like,
Well, they're making their own game.
yeah, not really. Medal of Honor was a EA thing from the start.
Yeah, Medal of Honor's been around for quite
Like-
a while, since like, what was it, like 1990?
Respawn, though, like, they don't have creative control over what they can produce. They'll produce whatever EA tells them to. They
Right.
make good games, it's just that they don't have, like, the freedom to actually, like, explore shit anymore.
Right.
Their last, like, actual thing that they wanted to mess around with was Titanfall 2. And that was, like, it wasn't the best game, but there's a lot of, like, cool things they were doing with it that I absolutely love, but they can't do anything with it now. Because they can't explore anymore.
It was a really good game. Like I loved it. The campaign was like super good.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it got overshadowed by, you know, Call of Duty and Battlefield.
No, it was
So-
Battlefield because EA, their marketing was all for the new Battlefield
Yeah,
game.
they
'cause
did.
That's
Yeah.
their IP against Call of Duty.
They
And they
didn't-
released Titanfall 2 the same week as fucking Battlefield 4.
Yeah, they didn't. No, it was Battlefield 5, I think.
But I think it's different with VR now because
'Cause
not only do you
Battlefield 4
have
came out in 2013.
with VR, you not only have platform exclusives, you also have like,
Hardware.
Yeah.
hardware exclusives and
Right.
then headset exclusives.
Oh, yeah.
So like a game can be exclusive to PC, exclusive to, you know, Steam, or, you know, when Epic gets involved in VR.
They kind of already are. Have you guys heard of
Tetris VR?
Tetris Effect?
No.
I think I've heard of that one.
So there's
I saw a video where a guy was playing like he was like a world-class Tetris player, and then he played it in VR and he beat his own record.
It's actually Tetris. How the fuck do you play Tetris in VR? Do you just, like, stare in front of this, like thing and just twist it
No,
up or
no,
so?
It's
no,
still
you-
with the controller,
you-
but
you-
you're immersed.
Yeah, you're a lot more immersed. But they have
In Tetris.
Yes. But Tetris Effect is, you can only get that on oh my god, what the hell is it called? Epic
PlayStation.
Games. You can
Oh,
only get it
on
on
Epic.
Epic Games on
Am
PC.
I the only one that thinks VR Tetris is a weird idea?
I think that's a great idea, dude. I've been wanting to play Tetris Effect for like the longest
Well,
time.
there's another video that I'm gonna link in the description that breaks down VR, like talking about Tetris in VR, but it frames VR as like it's like headphones but for your eyes.
Well, yeah.
So you get more immersed.
But what is there to be immersed in with Tetris? You're literally just you're stacking things.
Well, it's like with Beat
That's
Saber,
all it
how
is.
Beat Saber could be just on a flat panel, but in VR you're in it.
yeah, but like with Beat Saber, like the whole mechanic around it is like you're slicing open these boxes and stuff. Tetris, you literally just stack boxes from a distance.
But the thing is that with the VR, like you're immersed in it.
There's
like,
there's
you're-
a lot
you're-
of there's like a lot of like background.
I
kind
need to
of, like,
see what this
Yeah.
looks like in order to understand, because all I'm thinking of is like Tetris, but there's like floaty stuff around you, and you're just watching the blocks move down, but you can look away from it for a brief second.
Well, it's like the difference between looking at a game on a screen, you know, in a room. Instead of that, you're just looking at the game with like
Now-
no distractions.
Hear me out. Better idea, VR Tetris, but you're one of the blocks. It's like Tetris 99, except everyone has to work together. Last person left loses.
So this is one thing that I wanted to bring up. Portal was a great series.
Yeah, it was. Portal 2 best one.
Yeah, I wanted Portal 3 for a while, but I think we got Portal 3 when we got budget cuts.
Yeah, I mean the humor's there.
That really is a good example of how VR is really not just like adding on, but it's like a successor.
It's game-changing.
It's like a successor to traditional gaming.
Hell yeah.
Like even with like those series, like with budget cuts being a spiritual successor to Portal, it's like you're in it on a whole other level.
I gotta say, it's nicer playing a Portal game where I can stab the robots that annoy me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Portal but with more combat. And speaking of like Portal VR, there is a Portal mod called, I think it's called like Mel Stories VR or something. It's
Is
like
it for the first or second?
second.
Oh fuck yeah! I want to grab Wheatley and just punch him in the face.
It's like a second
Fucking
side
asshole.
story. It's like a second side story. I think it actually okay. So it's in the engine of Portal 2, and it plays like Portal 2, but I think it happens before Portal 1 when Cave Johnson was still in office and he was, still alive.
Yeah. What was it?
And GLaDOS wasn't there.
GLaDOS was there, but she wasn't
as
a robot yet.
I think you play as
Catherine?
Yeah, I think you play
Carolyn.
as her.
Caroline.
Carolyn, yeah, I think you play as her.
Portal lore is best lore.
Yeah.
Speaking about that though, there's a VR game. I forget what it's called, but it's like it's a game where you're basically an aperture robot that they gave hands to, and you have to like do hand things. It's very short.
Oh,
what's it called?
Aperture Hand Labs.
Is that only for Index?
That's only for Index.
Damn it!
If you get the lab on Steam VR, there's a mini game where you're like it's like robot repair, where you're like repairing the robots.
And it's
from
like
Portal
really
2.
complex. It's like, oh hey, fix this robot. Need a.
Oh, he's dead.
You lose.
Yeah.
It's like thanks.
If you ever come over sometime, you can.
I want to fucking play Hand
yeah.
Labs. I want to talk to what is his name? Friendly Frank.
Friendly Frank.
Fuck yeah.
Hello, I am Friendly Frank. Frank, who you have killed.
Now I have a gun.
And now I have this gun. That was a warning shot.
You should
Next
give
time I won't miss.
You should give Friendly Frank a chance. Society did. Fucking love that.
I don't think we can prove that budget cuts in Portal aren't in the same universe.
I mean, it's robots running a company, so yeah, they probably are.
But it's
like off-brand Aperture.
It's multiple robots running a company. It's not just one robot.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's the cost optimizer who has like lackeys, like Adam. He runs the office building. Oh, Adam is terrible.
He scared the piss out of me. Like as soon as I was trying to figure out how to beat it.
I had to like look up tutorials on YouTube.
I had to as well. But like as soon as
you can't just stab him.
No, you can't. He kills you. But
well, how does he kill you if you stab him?
He's a giant robot that moves really fast.
Throw it faster. Just yeet the knife into his eye.
He's made of unobtainium.
Ah, damn you.
He's made of Obama.
He's made of Obama.
He's made of Obamium.
Finally, Obamium.
But yeah, like I tried to get through that, and he jump scared me, and I just scared the piss out of me, and I hit the back of my head on my wall, and I said, nope, fuck this, I'm done. I'm not beating Budget Cuts 2, because there's nothing a whole
Budget
lot.
Cuts 2 is great.
I'm sorry. I'm not beating Budget Cuts 1. There's not a whole lot happens that after.
I forget there's a sequel to that now.
Yeah, that came out probably I don't know.
A long time ago.
I played through it in like less than a
galaxy far away from here.
Here, we can ask Siri when it comes out, or when it came out. Hey Siri, when did Budget Cuts 2 release?
Okay, I found this on the web.
Thanks for nothing.
No, I think it came out in like 2019 maybe.
Budget Cuts 2?
I feel like that's
because
right.
the first one was like
I have a feeling that it
December.
might have come out
December 12th, 2019.
So yeah, fairly recent. Yeah, I recommend it. I bought it, so you should be able to install it from our shared library.
Yeah, I'll do that when I get my index.
Yeah, I bought it, and then like 2 weeks later, it went on sale for like $6.
Oh, I know
Nice.
that feeling. I fucking bought a $60 game, and it went on sale for like fucking 99% of the price.
Yeah,
I bought Crisis.
Off percent of the price. Yeah.
I think I bought Crisis 3 on my 360 for I think it was like $6 or $7, and then like 2 months later it was free with gold.
Oh yeah, fucking.
I bought GTA 5 when it was on sale like 2 or 3 months before it was free on Epic.
Oh, I just want to say, fuck Bungie. They're a horrible company. I pre-ordered one of their games, Destiny 2, for $100 back, when it was a $60 game. Now it's free to play, and they're removing all of the stuff I bought. So I'm fucking mad.
And that's why you don't pre-order games, kids.
Don't pre-order games from fucking Bungie. Every other MMO I have still has all of the content I bought when I bought the game. Destiny 2 is the only game I have that has decided that they don't want to have that stuff anymore. They're just going to delete it all.
I thought about pre-ordering the Avengers game that's coming out in September, but then I was like, wait, why? It's going to be the same price when it comes out.
Yeah.
All that you get for pre-ordering is like some skins that I won't use.
Yeah.
I only like really pre-order games from like Nintendo because I know that they're going to be quality.
I only trust a few fucking companies with that. Like Coalition, I'll pre-order some of their stuff maybe. The guys that make Gears of War, just because I love Gears of War. 343 is an if, a big fucking if, because like
Halo Infinite.
It might be a good game, but I don't want to take another gamble on it like the previous.
But it also
games.
might be a stinker.
Like it could be like Halo Wars 2, or it was like an honestly competent Halo game again.
Or it could be Halo 5.
Yeah.
Or Halo 4.
4 wasn't that bad, but it was just Call of Duty. Like
Right.
there's no difference between Halo 4 and the new Call of Duty that year. Like they had the same mechanics and everything.
I mean, I had a good time playing through Halo 5, but like I'm just
Halo 5
Why is there no
has
split screen?
Halo
Why is there no split screen for Halo 5? That's
because
so
it's
stupid.
one of those stupid, like, we're going to try and revamp how games work, but they make it worse things.
Yeah, no.
But Halo 5 was very competent in one aspect only, the multiplayer.
Multiplayer was a lot of
Their
fun.
multiplayer is set up in such a fucking fantastic way. They have a new game mode, which is, I think, a really awesome idea. It's called Warzone. And there's multiple things there. There's a normal firefight kind of thing, which is, fun if you like firefight. But the other one is a competitive firefight. For example, there is enemies that will spawn in on the map, like AI enemies that fight both teams. But you have two teams of 5 players. And they're basically fighting for control over this map point or whatever the objective is. And it's like, I think 5 waves of it. And it's like, that's such an awesome idea. I love that. Because it adds so much more, like, replayability and multiplayer with that. Because, like, anything can happen there. Like, they'll spawn in random enemies. Like, it could be, like, fucking the normal alien dudes or the robot guys. Or, like, you'll get a tank or something. It's like, fuck yeah.
One mod that I played that I had a lot of fun with was Breakout.
Breakout?
I'm not sure if you ever played that before. So it's like
That's my favorite Atari game.
Oh my god.
Okay, actually it's a really good game. But what is it? Shit. I think, Jake, come on, use your brain. Anyhow, so what Breakout is, it's kind of like a CS:GO match almost. It's like 5v5.
Oh, Warzone. Oh, not Warzone. Warface Breakout.
I never played Warface Breakout.
Oh.
The last time that I played Warface, it was on the 360.
Yeah, I thought that's what it is, though. The new one that they just made?
Yeah,
They like just come out?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like Halo 5 Breakout.
Oh.
So Halo 5 Breakout, it's like 5v5. I think you start off with an SMG and a it's an SMG and a pistol and a Magnum.
Alright.
And I don't think you have any you have no shields, no regenerating health.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Counter-Strike. So it's pretty competitive, but like it kind of has like the Halo movement, so you can boost around and backslam people and stuff.
No, I tell you though, fucking they have this thing. I hate the way they have it set up, but the rec system.
Yeah.
Having to pay real money for it is stupid, but the idea of it is awesome. Like the rec packs and stuff like that are like special loot items you can use in Warzone or in other game modes. I forget the other game modes. I mostly only play Warzone, but I fucking love this idea because it's weapons, vehicles, abilities, like attachments for your normal base 5 guns and shit like that. And the way they have it set up though is like you can use it almost any time as long as you have enough points to like use the item. And it just gets chaotic sometimes. Like doing the I guess legendary fucking 2v2 kind of shit. Team versus team thing. It's not 2v2. It's 5v5. But Point is, like, when everyone's in a fucking tank and everything's just exploding around you, it's awesome.
Imagine that in VR.
Yeah, let's do that. I want to imagine the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan, but it's VR. I'm the guy holding his arm.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
Do you think we'll ever get VR movies?
yeah, I think
We already
maybe
have
Hideo
that.
Kojima is probably gonna do that. Knowing him, always having to like push the boundaries of how to do shit.
There was a VR game that I tried a couple days ago. I think it was the Belko experiment,
Oh fuck yeah!
and it was like a escape room type thing. It was like about 15 minutes, but it was basically like a glorified trailer. Because like
Yeah.
after you finish the game, the trailer plays, and I think that's how they should do more movie trailers. Honestly,
Oh,
release
God. Like-
a little VR demo, like the next Spider-Man game. Like I know they already did Spider-Man Far From Home VR, but
The next
something
Spider-Man game, but it's the perspective of someone watching Spider-Man.
But if
do
they did
stuff.
like a really polished Spider-Man experience for the next for as like a trailer for the next movie, now that would be great.
yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, so still on VR, but a little bit off topic. So have you guys watched The Mandalorian yet?
Oh
Star
fuck
Wars?
yeah! Hell yeah, man! I watched all of it. I love it. Watch Mandalorian.
So my dad and I were watching through. I think it's called like Disney Gallery or something, where they
Disney
basically.
Plus.
No. It's part of Disney Plus. It's called like Disney Gallery, and it basically explains like all the different steps in producing the movie. They used VR to produce it.
Yeah,
Fucking a lot of the cool shit about Mandalorian is like you see all these like awesome looking set pieces. It's all fake.
Yeah,
it's all
no.
like fucking like computer generated.
Yeah,
shit.
it's
well,
really
you know
the
crazy.
thing is, it's not green screen though. That's what
Yeah.
surprised me.
Yeah.
It's so fucking awesome. It's like
It's
how
a-
did they
it's a-
do that?
It's like a giant. It's like a kind of like a giant bowl. It's like a giant dome, and they can just project
the
anything on
acting
there.
sphere.
So they have like these big screens set up, and instead of using a green screen and like keying that out and stuff,
Yeah.
which looks it's good
It
now,
works.
but it looks
Like
kind of
at
fake.
times you can still tell it's a green screen.
And the actors are acting against a green screen, but with this, they can see what's around them. They can see what's going to be, on the final product.
They're acting against their will.
I think though, like the biggest testament though for how this shit looks when it's actually being used is like I think there's a scene in the second episode of Mandalorian where he's like walking down the canyon and it's like this like huge
Oh, yeah.
ravine thing. You can't even tell like most of it's fake. Like it just looks like so natural, like him walking away from like the fucking entrance or whatever.
Yeah, everything.
All that
looks
shit
real
behind
in
him
that
is
show.
not even there. But like in front of him, yeah, there's still some stuff where the other guy is coming and he fights him. That's all real. But everything around him is just a fucking like TV basically.
Oh yeah,
It's
and you were
all-
saying
it's
that.
just
Yeah, you were saying that they use VR to make that.
Yeah, they used VR for like a lot of like the camera shots and positioning.
oh, it's so good.
So
So how did they use VR for that?
I'm not too sure. They didn't go like a whole lot into it. Probably just for the sake of we don't want people trying to imitate this.
I mean, yeah.
That's a good point.
So they didn't go a whole lot into it, and I can't really remember because my brain is
They
fried.
just beamed these people into Star Wars.
This is guys. It's not. We didn't use real people. It's VR chat.
Oh my god.
Mandalorian season 2. It's all VR chat.
we just put Vive
Baby
trackers
Yoda's
on
just
everybody.
being like assaulted by a bunch of people. You know, speaking about Baby Yoda, like I saw this video the other day. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's called Baby Yoda gets crushed by a rock and fucking dies, and it's the most brutal thing
Hell
I
I've
have
seen.
yeah.
not seen that.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna describe it. I hope you didn't want to be monetized on YouTube, but what it is it's Baby Yoda just standing there like smiling, like being a little happy fucker like he normally is, and then someone just drops a cinder block on him. His fucking like head explodes. There's like blood coming out of like his destroyed eyeball. Like you can see the other one's filling up with blood and then leaking also.
Wow.
He goes
Not
from,
that
like-
not that I want to know any more about this, but is it like animated or what?
It's animated, but the
Okay.
best part is though, because of all the blood going straight into his head after you crush him with a fucking rock, he turns red. It's so graphic.
It would have cost you nothing not to bring that up.
Watch it. It's just the fact that someone took time to animate that and was like, I wonder how realistically this would happen.
We'll put a link into it. We'll put a link to it in the description.
We should. Fucking shout out to that guy. I want to see more stuff from him.
Okay, so I want to go on a little bit of a tangent here. Not VR, but still kind of games.
All right.
So, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
A lot of people, like Pokemon. I'm one of them. I have way too many of the games. Game freak, I just put the...
Yeah, you're a game freak.
Fucking freak. Beat him!
But, so every single Pokemon game since Gen 3, which was Ruby, Sapphire,
An Emerald?
Emerald, yeah, and Fire Red and Leaf Green, you've been able to transfer Pokemon up to the new games. And you're still able to do that. But you need an application on your 3DS called Pokemon Bank, which you have to pay $5 for 1 year in order to use it. On top of that, if you want to transfer stuff into like the new games like Pokemon Sword and Shield, you have to pay an additional $15 a year to use Pokemon Home. And when you transfer it over, it's a one-way transfer. So you can't transfer anything back to the old game.
And that's in addition to buying the whole $60 game.
Yeah.
I have Let's Go Pikachu, and that was like a fucking $50 game at Walmart. Walmart.
So on top of this, a lot of the Pokemon you cannot transfer into Sword and Shield just because they don't have all the Pokemon.
Because they suck.
Dude, I have like a box full of legendaries.
However,
why can't I transfer them over?
However, I just like to say the Pokemon, the Incel Pokemon. Yeah.
The what?
The Incel Pokemon.
No, I heard what you said, but what?
What?
Okay, there's like a lizard guy. They call him an incel because he looks like a fucking incel. He's like, I think it's like Incelian or some shit like that.
Yeah, I know.
He's like this blue fucking gecko guy, but he's so smug and just asshole looking. Everyone's like, this guy's an incel.
He has a sniper rifle.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Does he look like he wants to debate you?
Yes, he looks like fucking Ben Shapiro if he was a goddamn like Pokemon.
All right, hold on. I'm looking this up. What's the name?
I think it's Incelian or some shit like that.
Let me find it.
I'm just gonna look up incel Pokemon.
Yeah, you'll find it. But I fucking love it though, because like I've seen Photoshop of him when they pull that fedora on his head, and it just looks like it just fits. It doesn't look like it's out of place, even if it's a shitty photoshopped fedora. It's just like, yeah, he'd wear one. That's the guy who would wear one. Here, let me see.
But there's
this top video that came up when I googled incel Pokemon. First of all, it says, "Did you mean Excel Pokemon?" No, I didn't.
No, Google.
This video, what I meant. This video came up. I'm an incel. Ask me anything.
Oh my god.
XQC reacts to.
Yeah,
I'm an incel. Ask me anything.
There it is.
That's the incel Pokemon. People have photoshopped like the top fin off of his head and replaced it with a fedora, and it just fits.
Oh god, yeah, he does look like he wants to debate more than battle.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Debate me, Pikachu.
Like I think they were trying to make him look like a more I guess like regal type guy, like more like pretentious.
Right.
Not regal, anime regal.
Prestigious or whatever. But he just looks like the biggest asshole. Like you look at him, I was like, God, I want to punch your Pokemon in the fucking face.
So there's one more thing that I forgot to mention about Pokemon Home. If your subscription runs out, I'm not sure about this.
They erase them. They euthanize your Pokemon.
No,
if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Oh, they actually euthanize your Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure. So
I get a message. Your warranty expired. We had to kill them all. We mulch them.
So
this is not a no-kill shelter.
So everybody has a basic plan. When you sign up for Pokemon Home, you have a basic plan, and you can
I'm gonna store these in this meat grinder. Don't turn it on until after the 12 months.
You can have one box, 30 Pokemon. And then if you buy the premium plan, I think you get like 400 boxes and you can store 6,000 Pokemon. I don't know why you would want to do that, but
to flex.
So after your
6,000 Weedles.
All of them Weelord for 1 to 6,000. The middle one has a crown on its head.
They're all numbered. They're all numbered. Just 1, 2, 3. Like
the one that is 420 has like a bunch of like X's by its name and shit.
No. It's a shiny. It's a shiny.
It's a shiny Weasel. Yes.
But anyhow, yeah. I think after that 1 month or the 1 year that you have it, the only thing that you can access is that first box, and then after that you can't access. If you had Pokemon stored in box 2 or 3, 4, I'm pretty sure they're gone. I'm not too sure.
Execute them.
I'm not sure, but I swear to God, if my
Execute Order 66.
The incel Pokemon just comes by with his sniper rifle.
but I swear to God,
It's a scene from Schindler's List.
How long before they just come up with, like, they run out of Pokemon ideas, so it's just gun.
Pokemon gun or ammo that complement each other. How long until Pokemon gets political? Pokemon Democrat or Republican? The Democrat one's a donkey Pokemon. The Republican one's the elephant one.
Oh, I love it. There was
Oh, I should work at Game Freak. That'd be awesome.
There was a oh, goodness, come on. There was like a news report where they did like a Pokemon. It's like, yeah, these new Pokemon games are coming out. You got Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, and then somebody made this fan art mock-up of Pokemon Gun, and they put it in there, and they thought it was an actual like version of the game.
That's adorable.
I love it. I love it so much.
I know that in Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's like dog but with shield or dog but with sword.
Dog with knife.
So dog with gun is like
dog with gun.
Is it like? Does he just have it in his mouth, or does he have like a gun strapped to him? Is he the gun?
Find out on the next episode of Bold of You to Say.
Pokemon
Thanks for watching,
gun.
but that's just a theory.
It doesn't have a head. It's just a fucking pistol. Bark. What's a good dog name?
I am the dog.
Bark, Spike. It just shoots off a fucking bullet.
So we're starting to run out of time, so let's get through the rest of our topics that we wanted to get
Alex,
through.
we're always running out of time.
Well, thanks for reminding me of my own mortality, Jared.
Bye, Arby's.
So I know that in the last episode, or I'm not sure if it was the last episode or a couple episodes ago. I haven't been keeping up. Sorry, guys.
Well, there was the last episode and then the one we did 4 months ago. So
okay, the one where you guys talked about the PlayStation 5.
that was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Not the one before the PlayStation 5 was announced.
okay.
How much is it now? I forgot to check.
They don't know. They don't know. I think it's just a guesstimate. I'm gonna guesstimate 500.
Sony doesn't know how much they're gonna cost.
We don't know.
They haven't told us yet.
They haven't
Okay,
told us.
when you said they don't know, I thought like who doesn't know?
Like the
company?
royal they.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
The queen doesn't know.
So physical versus digital. I know a lot of people are moving over to digital games, and yeah, I understand. It's the convenience.
Oh yeah,
of just,
just the fact that it's all cloud saved and stuff. You don't have to worry about like a disc getting destroyed on accident or something. It's just all like there as long as you have the account.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand that. And with people with like faster internet, it's like no problem.
Oh yeah.
But you live in an area like where I live, where I get 700 kilobytes download speed.
Oh no, I'm better. I got fucking Charter. My shit goes down like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Well, you live right next to society. We don't.
I
Yeah.
live on like the cusp of society. I can see where society exists. It's not pretty. They live in a society.
Well, you live next to buildings. I live next to like trees.
You've got neighbors.
I am the Lorax. I speak with the trees. Give me more Wi-Fi, please.
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees, and they speak in Vietnamese.
But yeah, I know I understand a lot of people is just the convenience of just going to the store, pressing a button, letting it download in like 30 minutes or like an hour or something, and then just playing it.
Oh yeah, no, it's very convenient.
But for people like me who like collecting, I have like a giant shelf just full of just old games, newer games. If I can buy a physical version of a game, I will buy a physical version. I'll go out of my way to buy a physical version.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Most of the time, physical versions are cheaper too. But like,
Right.
the thing with buying a physical version though is like there's space, like storage, like thoughts you have to think of, like, oh, do I have enough room to put this on my shelf or in my fucking
Drawer.
Yeah, drawer. I forgot what those are called for a second.
It's been a while.
But with digital and stuff, like as long as you have the space on the console or the computer or whatever you're buying it on, like
Either way,
there.
you're worrying about space, whether it's physical space or space on your hard drive.
Yeah, but like with how games are nowadays, you have to install it anyway. So like, cut out the
sometimes.
middleman and just like install it onto the thing from the virtual store.
Right.
I mean, to
like
tie,
I agree that it is nice to have the physical version. I mean, I have a bunch of fucking Switch games with my Switch, but I also have a bunch of them that I bought digitally.
Right.
right. To tie it back, I think that's another advantage Nintendo would have with VR. If it's like a Switch 2 accessory, you'd be able to sell physical
Cartridges.
games. Yeah, and
Just shove it in your eye hole.
people like buying that shit. They put it on their shelves and stuff like you do.
Yeah,
It's a collector's item.
That's the main reason why I kind of collect and get physical games. It's the fact that I have something physical to hold, and and as long as I have it with me, I'll have it.
It definitely feels more. You feel more like, I don't know what the word would be. I guess comforting. If you have a physical one, knowing that if someone like, if someone like tanks your whole system, you have to worry about like trying to get your account back or anything like that. Like it's there, you can just reinstall it.
Yeah, and
if you get a physical version of a game, you own it.
Yeah, you physically own it. With a digital version, all you're getting is just a license to play it. You don't own the game. You're just getting a license, which can be revoked at any time. So
theoretically, yes.
So that happened a lot. So stuff like DuckTales Remastered, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade game, the Simpsons arcade game, all of those got delisted.
Lego Lord of the Rings.
That's still on Steam.
Yeah,
it's on Steam now, but for a while they would not let you buy it.
Yeah,
they re-released it though.
Same thing happened with DuckTales. Is another thing with collecting like physical games is you're helping, I guess, preserve like a piece of history.
Oh yeah,
because people with like movies and TV shows and music. Yeah, it's cool to own it, but most of the time it's out there on the internet. With video games it's harder because you have to have the system, or you have to have the specific piece of hardware that it's designed for. And another thing that I like about physical games, I guess I'll put it in the words of Scott the Woz. By the way, subscribe to him. He's an amazing YouTuber, makes great content.
Try to give him clout.
No, he's really good actually.
Today's episode is sponsored by Scott the Woz.
Hey all, Scott here.
Hey y'all, Shill here.
We should change the name of the podcast to Clout Chasers. Also, shout out to Raid Shadow Legends. Please, we sponsored you like 5 times. Just give us our money. I need it.
But I'll put it in
the
the words.
hospital bills are too much.
I'll put it in the words of Scott the Woz. It's the fact of being able to walk into your room and seeing everything on a shelf and just having thousands upon thousands of games to play.
Oh, it does look nice, huh? Like on paper, like going in, it's like, oh, look at all my collection and stuff. It looks nice, but if you want to collect other things too, well, right. I'm really into like the fucking miniature scene, like getting like little things to like paint up and fucking do that shit. It's like I like playing games, I like getting games, but like when I put shit on my shelf, I like to put like things that I have like built or painted or anything like that.
Right.
I feel like if I used all of the games I have digitally installed, if I had those physically, I would not have space for any of the fucking things I make.
Well, I mean, that's just not what you're into. Like, you're into miniatures and stuff. It's I mean, like for Jake collecting games, it's like the difference
showing
between
off my games. That's why I have them all in like these like cubby hole things next to my my TV and stuff. It's just that I don't have them on my shelf because that's where all the other stuff is.
Well, like relating it to you, it would be like the difference between having your miniatures and having like a picture of your miniatures.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that completely because like the pictures they aren't gonna look as nice as like the actual 3D thing. Like
having a miniature or having like a 3D model of a miniature on your computer.
Yeah, well, the model might be all right, but like depends on how you made it. I got a whole bunch of files of like models I've made that I can't get yet because I need to buy the blueprints.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks. You got to find either a free system you can use where they already have all the stuff. You have to make them yourself, and if you don't have the correct stuff, it's kind of gonna be garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a game collector. I do have like some like N64.
I mean, you got a pretty neat looking setup over there. My room is.
I just don't have the room
right
to display a lot of that stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
But like you see, like you have like you're right next to my record collection, like.
An impressive collection.
Yeah, that's another example of like, it's fun to just
show
display
off.
It. Like I use Spotify too.
Yeah.
But like it's fun to hold a copy of what you like.
Oh yeah, no, like I have Netflix, but I also bought Bumblebee for Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Okay, I'm being serious. That movie, this is my ability to say something. Bumblebee is how all of the fucking Transformer movies should have been.
Yeah.
That movie is fucking amazing. I love it. It's like
I haven't seen it yet, but
it's like a
I do
Spielberg
I have it in
alien
my Plex
movie.
server.
It's great. You guys need to watch it. It's fucking it's how the first movie should have been. All right? I'm just going to say that.
I have heard nothing but good things about it.
It's so good. Like even like the design, like in the beginning of the movie, like they showed it in the commercials a bit, but like they have all the Transformers and they're all using the original designs, and they look really fucking nice in the way they have them. Because it's like you played the Cybertron games, yeah? You've seen them at least.
I don't know.
No? Okay.
I don't
The idea is they took the old G1 kind of animated designs and they tried to make them look more modern. That's basically what they did here, where they combined it with like the weird, like sharp, I guess, Transformers that they had from Michael Bay. And they actually look really fucking good like that. Like so many of them. Like Bumblebee is a bit weird just because he has the Michael Bay head.
Yeah.
But the rest
I
of
never
them still
liked
looks
Michael
nice.
Bay Transformer designs.
Like some of the Autobots look nice and good. Optimus, when he doesn't have his face shown, when he's using like his mouth guard, that looks great. When you can see his face, it's horrifying.
See, they all look like they could kill you just by looking at you. They're
so
sharp.
sharp. Like Megatron is the only one that would make sense being sharp, but in the like cartoons and stuff, he's just like a guy with a helmet. So it just looks weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
My least favorite one is was Soundwave, the satellite one, which is just all spikes. It's like he was supposed to be a cassette player. Now he's literally covered in knives.
Wasn't there a Transformer that was literally just a gun?
Yeah, there's multiple. In old class,
Wasn't Megatron a gun?
in G1 Megatron. Okay, this is the dumbest thing, and I love it. So now Starscream wants to kill Megatron so he can be leader of the Decepticons, yeah? That's like a whole plot point.
Sure, let's
Okay.
go with that.
That's a thing that happened in the old stuff. I realize now you probably haven't seen the old series, but like in the old cartoons, that was a thing that Starscream would do. In the movies, they kill him because he does succeed, and Megatron comes back. Besides that shit, though, what Megatron used to turn into in the old stuff was he'd transform into a pistol. Like, he'd go from a big-ass robot taller than all the other Decepticons besides, like, the big giant ones. He'd go from that into a pistol that could fit into Starscream's hand, and Starscream would shoot him. He would literally, he knows Starscream wants to kill him, but he'd turn into a pistol. Starscream will pick up the pistol, and then we'll shoot the Autobots, and then he'll, like, let Megatron turn back to normal. Instead of
Where
just,
did the bullets come from?
Yeah.
Bullets are stored in the balls. But no, like, I hated that though because
It brings
it's
a whole
like,
new meaning to shooting loads.
oh my god.
Oh my fucking Christ.
It always bothered me though as a kid because like Starscream, you could literally just like snap him and then now you're the leader. He's dead. What's he gonna do? Come back from that? It's like here he is, small and frail now in your hands. Just squeeze harder. But it's like
That's what she
So
said.
what does Megatron transform into in the Michael Bay movies then?
an airplane.
So like Starscream.
No, it's space airplane.
I don't follow.
It's an airplane, but if you put razor blades all over it. Shockwave, the purple guy with the gun arm, also turned into a pistol. His was kind of cooler, though, because he was like a space pistol and not like an actual real-world pistol. That's another thing. Megatron...
Is that also just a pistol with razor blades on it?
No, because this is like old school shit. But in the new movie, he doesn't turn into anything. He just lives in a giant worm. Michael Bay Transformers took a couple of liberties. Like, one of them's like a ninja transformer. His name's Wheeljack. In the third Michael Bay movie, they introduce him, and he's like Einstein, but if you skinned Einstein's face.
So like not
Horrifying.
like Einstein.
No, because he's got Einstein's hair, but he just doesn't have
okay.
a face. It's
like
like
a
if you
crypt
took
keeper.
kinda, but if he was a robot, just look up Wheeljack Michael Bay, and you'll know exactly what I'm saying. The point is, kids cried when he showed up because he was horrifying. Like the idea was, we're gonna make him look like an old scientist, but he looks like a skinned old man, and he's a good guy.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who the Michael Bay Transformer movies are for.
My favorite part though is that in that movie they know that he was horrifying, so they gave him like just no like screen time, and like there's a part where they show his face close up, and then after that they have someone just execute him. So it's like, don't worry, kids, we killed him. You don't have to worry. It's like, Jesus Christ.
All right, I should probably get going.
All right.
So are we wrapping up then?
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
All right, I'll get the foil.
In closing, subscribe to Scott the Woz, buy physical games, try VR,
and raid, please. My social security number is 347. Actually, I don't even. I might have actually just said the first three numbers. I don't know what my social security number is.
So he pulls out his social security. Let me just make sure I get this right.
I
so
had
it's
it
371.
We're good. No, don't say that. Don't say that. No, that's not even it either. No, but I actually got my card laminated recently. I'm so happy. I don't have to worry about it being melted
Fancy.
in my pocket. It started to do that. Around the edges of my social security card, there's nothing because it started to crumble to dust.
How barren and like hot are your pockets?
You know the Gobi Desert? There's a sandworm in them.
Is that a sandworm, or are you just excited to see me?
You ever see Dune? Dune? The sandworms from Dune? Someone out there is gonna get this reference, but yeah, the spice.
All right. Do you have any closing statements?
Thank you for letting me be on the podcast. I currently have a YouTube channel, or trying to get a YouTube channel up with my friend Cameron.
It's called Clout Chasers.
It's called Please Uwu Scott the Woz Notice Me.
Oh my god!
That's my social security number. That's my password. Shut up. No, it's called, I believe it's called Azzy and Sapphire's Hub. We don't have any videos on it currently. Well, we do have a video. It's just unlisted. We've been waiting for a commission. But by the time...
like an art commission?
Yeah, for like a banner.
Okay, I get it.
I get but by the time this podcast is uploaded, I'm just gonna make it public at this point. I'm tired of waiting. I'll just I don't know. I'll just put somebody T-posing as the banner art. I really don't care. But I'm hoping to make another video soon. Probably about video game collecting, and then when I get my
hear now.
Jared, stop. Do you know how inconvenient it is to edit around that?
Don't then. Leave it in. I want them to hear.
So, Jake, you were saying...
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the YouTube channel is just Azzy and Sapphire's Hub. So, we'll have some videos out.
Anyway, thank you for watching with your ears.
Wow.
So
we appreciate it.
I'm gonna make this a tradition where we talk about what we'll talk about in the next episode, and then we may or may not talk about it. I just watched Louis C.K.'s newest special. It was great.
Hell yeah.
Might want to talk about it next episode. We can watch it later.
Around the time of next episode, I should have my my first set of Warhammer 40k figurines. I'll let you guys know how well that goes, because you have to build them from what it looks like. So. All
right, so tune in like 2 to 10 weeks when we do our next episode, and we may or may not talk about that.
Yeah, I probably will, just because like if I love painting miniatures and shit, I usually get like D&D miniatures to paint, and those are expensive. But like this is like a whole fuck ton of like little guys to paint and build and shit, and I'm like really excited. Oh, pardon me, really excited for this though, because it's like one of my favorite sci-fi universes and shit, and it's like my favorite faction in it, and they put it on sale like yesterday. So I was like, fuck yeah, I want to buy this.
Nice.
I just got paid too. So it's like $100, but you get like I guess 13 figures, and you also get the strategy book for the faction you get. So I'm so happy for that.
So you collect figurines, I collect cases with dust on them.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, like, I do want to get into, like, the actual game, though. Like, Warhammer 40k. Because it's such, like, a just in-depth strategy game. Because, like, you get all these different, like, types of figurines. It's like Risk, except every single person has a health bar and stats. It's awesome.
All right, so, Jake, I know you have to go. You got to go to work.
Yes,
so,
I'm sorry.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. I really enjoyed it. It's been a while. I I've always enjoyed doing these. These are always like really fun, just kind of chill and hang out. And just
Yeah.
talk
Oh
about
fuck
stuff.
yeah! I gotta work at like 3 a.m. tomorrow, and that's gonna suck.
Yeah,
but,
the only time we ever hang out, we record it.
I gotta work at 2, which is in about an hour or so.
Well, I'm
and I
gonna
have to
stick
deal with
around
a
for a
whole
bit,
bunch
'cause-
of the
it's
women's
almost 2?
PGA
Fuck
Opens.
yeah, all right. As
No.
long as I'm home by like 5, we should be good.
No,
so.
it's 12:42. I said I have to work at 2.
Oh fuck yeah! Okay, plug me back in.
Put me back in.
For context, if this is still recording, the real world is horrible and full of angular shapes. I want to be back in VR. I hate my eyes.
All right, thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.